Hello, this is Deborah Cohen, and today is a review of what I discussed last week with singing. A lot of people that I encounter in a congregation give all these reasons why they say they can't sing in the congregation to God. And so I want to just tell you that if God, at least in the Siddur, wants you to sing praises to Him, praise and worship, depending on which circle you're in, then He certainly would have given you the raw materials, aka your voice, to sing. So if somebody has said that, do me a favor and don't sing, or you can't sing, then maybe you need to have a few lessons, like I did and continue to do. So if you would like to sing but find yourself envying somebody else singing and you're comparing yourself to somebody else and saying, I wish I could sing like her or him, then maybe you might want to listen to this broadcast and pick up a few pointers on how you don't have to compare yourself to somebody else. Yes, you can sing. And I will be right back after this message. Hello, this is Deborah Cohen. I'm so glad you found me online. My music is a variety of genres, starting in the 80s as a new wave singer-songwriter, opening up for Joan Jett in Kenmore Square, Boston. From there, I wandered into different genres, exploring my faith, praise music, interfaith music, and pop, rock, indie music, as well as music for TV, film, and movies. So there's all kinds of things to learn listening to my podcast, A Story and a Song. And I hope that you will enjoy the journey with me and that you will share what you hear. Thank you for listening. And this is Deborah Cohen. I thank you for listening either live or in the archives. And if you are listening live, you can chat with me during the broadcast either on twitch.tv/Deborah Cohen Music or on Instagram live. My handle is Deborah Cohen Music, DOTCOM. And I'm going to explain, if you're watching the video here live, that the word teruma is special to me because it means gift or offering, specifically to God. So I'm talking today about singing in the congregation to God. And some people don't think that they can sing. I'd like to encourage you today and tell you that yes, you can sing. But maybe you're like me. You didn't have a really good voice when you were younger, or maybe you can't carry a tune, or maybe you can't harmonize. So these are all things that you learn in classes. If, for example, you say, I can't carry a tune, well, there's plenty of free apps online where you can hit the keys of a piano, like, for example, C, and hit a key on the piano, and then with your voice, try to mimic that tone. And if you're tone deaf, because that's what some people say, then get out your phone and record yourself doing this in the privacy of your home, so people don't say, ow, you're there. You know how people are. They like to criticize each other. So record yourself, and it's called ear training. Everybody needs ear training. There's very few of us that can sing in key. You have to have ear training. And unfortunately, today, a lot of praise leaders or cantors don't have ear training. And they get up there and try to lead the congregation, and you're wondering, they start out in the key of A, and all of a sudden they're in A sharp or B flat, and you're like, which key should I sing in? Because the leader hasn't had ear training. That's such a pity, especially when you want to offer your voice to God. And it makes me wonder, are they doing an offering as a leader, or are they performing? That ugly word, performing. Those are people that think you're up there like American Idol, and you're up there because you want everybody to look at you. And that's ugly. That's something that needs to be worked on before you ever step on a platform and sing to God. And unfortunately, again, there's many people up there that have that ego. Look at me, and it's ugly, and it's not right. It really isn't right. So how do you get your heart right? If you listened last week, I explained about the animal soul, and the animal soul in each one of us has to be tamed so that your soul is right or righteous for God. So I'm not talking about singing lessons for secular music. This is for people that want to sing in a congregation and hesitate to do so because of various reasons. So I've noticed a lot of people that do want to sing in the congregation, but they've either been told they can't sing or they believe they can't. But usually it's because someone told you can't. But I say that you can. So you need to, just like anything else, you have to learn and develop a skill. So if it's singing, God wants to hear you sing to him, then you need to do your work, go get some ear training, go to a singing coach. There's plenty of them out there. There's some that are even free in your congregation to take singing lessons and practice. And it may take years like it did for me. How do you know when you're ready to sing to God? I mean, you can be working in the congregation individually to sing to God. But if your dream like mine is to get up there on the platform and lead the congregation, you have to have a pure heart. Or should I say, you should have a pure heart. And that means curbing the animal soul within so the spirit in you can sing with you. In Judaism, it's called the Shekhinah. So these are all things, check yourself when I mention these. These are all things that if you feel these things when you're singing publicly, then you're not ready to sing on a platform. If you feel insecure when you're up there on the platform to sing, you're not ready. The animal soul is still in charge. If you're in a group singing in a congregation and you feel insecure, then you can work it out in the congregation, within the congregation, and continue to try to sing with others without feeling like a mouse, okay? If you go up to the platform and you think you're ready to sing before the congregation, and for women, this is mostly for ladies, and you have your TNA showing, you definitely are not ready. And I believe it or not, I've seen it in synagogues, song leaders, females with low-cut blouses and their cleavage showing. That is a discredit to the synagogue, and the same with the church. You should not be up there. You are up there because you want people to look at you. You have to dress modestly. So if you're not there yet, your animal soul still rules. You're not ready to sing as a leader. You can attend a congregation, which I cover up. Seriously, you don't belong in a congregation if your boobs are hanging out. Okay? And I see it every week. It's a shame. If you're singing and you're jealous, that's another one that I've had to work through because I wanted to be there, but I wasn't ready. There were things in me that were not refined, and you get refined by studying your Bible. Whether you're Jewish or Christian, you've got to study to show yourselves approved. So if you're feeling jealous And like I know there's jealousy where I attend. When I sang, my dream was to lead in song in a congregation. And it's finally happening. Here I am at the age of 69. I've had to wait 69 years to get myself ready to have an opportunity. And it happened this past weekend. It was glorious. And I'm not saying it was glorious because of my singing. It was just because I was spiritually in the right place and I actually got to sing with my rabbi. What a blessing. So when I finished singing, and then afterwards we have the oneg, right, the lunch. This one girl that I could just feel the jealous vibe, and she wants to sing with me, and I said to her, "Do I have your email?" Because I mean, everybody's new in this congregation to me, and my husband, and she says, "You moron." Can you believe somebody calling somebody that? I just said, be nice. It's Shabbat, but I mean, obviously that animal soul needs some taming. That's all I'll say. Or there's another sign of somebody that doesn't have a submissive animal soul. When they get up there and sing their praise on a platform, then they get off the platform and it's still about that person. Me. Oh, I didn't do that just right. Or I think I could. Stop. It's not about you. It's about God. Get your animal soul in control. And this last note I have is people that go up there and they say, after I sang, somebody said, "Boy, that was a good performance." I'm like, I'm not performing. I am offering, giving a gift to God, giving back to God what He has given to me. What a glorious feeling. And after I sang, the rabbi said, "Thank you, Deborah." And she was looking for the right word. "Thank you for this." And somebody in the congregation said, "Teruma, for this gift." There are people that actually get the reason why we're up there on the platform or either in the congregation is to offer your voice in praise to God. So this is what it's about today. And I thank you on Instagram. Shopter is in the house. And I hope you're interested in learning how to sing. I already went over what you need to do if you think you can't sing. Well, God doesn't give any of us a voice so we can say we can't sing. It's something that we need to learn to do. And the first thing that we have to do is get rid of the animal soul, not get rid of, but put the animal soul within each one of us. We have one, if you believe in this Judaism. Submit the animal soul and polish it up and get righteous before you attempt to lead a congregation in song. So I'm going to share these notes from Chabad, and then I will share the video of me, the dream of me singing with my rabbi. It finally happened this weekend, and I wanted to share it with you because I've waited all of my life to be ready to do this. And I'm still a little shy when it comes to public speaking, but I can sing to God now publicly without fear. And it's taken me a long time to be able to do that. And it's so worth the effort, no matter how long it takes each one of us. So you can practice your singing within the congregation, and hopefully you don't have a bunch of people that are criticizing you for trying. If you do, then maybe you need to sit in a different location or continue to practice at home until you can get to the point with your voice that it's trained enough to go sing in a public congregation. All right. So when we sing a nigun, and this is a lot of times in Judaism when we're introducing a song to the congregation, we will, like, for example, da 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 da. Da 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 da, And a lot of times the leader will give you with their hand gestures, whether the notes are going da da up and down and extending their hands to you to tell you please join in, because it's not, hopefully not, a performance. You're not up there singing because you want everybody to tell you how great you are. If that's you, please go sit down. You're not ready to lead a congregation, but you're trying to get everybody to offer their voice, teruma, and praise together. This is how we have unity in the house. And then once we experience unity in the house, we can start our own singing circles and extend that unity feeling outside of your congregation and allow it to grow in the spirit as you grow together. It's not about, this person has a better voice, so no, we're not. It's not about talent. It's about doing your homework. Okay, so when we're singing a nigun, and again, I'll show you the video at the end of this broadcast of me singing with my rabbi, a nigun, but then it turns into words. There are niguns in a congregation which are called gates, Gates, which are entrances from one spiritual world to a higher one. Think about that. You're singing, maybe you're like that. That's why in the churches, they call it praise and then worship. Praise is when you come off the streets or, you're full of yourself, the world, we all are. We want to have an experience when we go to our place of worship. So you start off in praise. Praise is singing about God. Oh, he is great in the third person, right? And so people try to have upbeat praise tunes so that you can get rid of your everyday blah feeling and forget about your ego and start to sing in the spirit of things. You're there to have an experience. If you're going to a congregation where you're just mouthing words or you're not even singing, then maybe you need to find someplace else that spiritually you connect with. And that is a huge challenge. So when you find that place of praise, and of course, as I was saying, in Christianity, the worship part of the service is where you spent a lot of time, again, singing, and then you get to the place where you're forgetting about yourself and the people around you, and now you're singing to God instead of about God. That's the big difference between praise and worship. And in a Siddur, it's all about singing on Shabbat. And as we continue to sing, we have an elevation of praise. So each breath or gate or nigun or song demands not only new breath, but a new state of consciousness. And if you've never experienced this, I want to just tell you it is possible if you're in the right place. Your right place and the right place to share your beliefs. The fifth Lubavitcher Rebbe said each gate must be repeated twice. The first time only traces a form. The second time carves deep into the soul. So if you're like, for example, I can tell that the congregation I'm in, they're not used to singing nigunim. A nigun is a wordless melody, the same melody over and over again, because they start to think, get on with it. Hurry up. Why do we keep singing the same thing? Well, again, you don't understand the purpose of a nigun. It is to have an elevation from gate to gate to get closer to God. Shabbat is for God, and we have an opportunity to get closer to God if we understand why we keep singing the same thing over and over and over again. It's an experience, and until you have that experience singing in nigun, you're going to be thinking, why do we keep singing this over and over and over again? So let's learn something and practice why we're singing together what we're singing and who we're singing to. Okay, that is also why a nigun must never be rushed. Now, sometimes when I'm singing a nigun, I know my Rabbi Danny, really has this. She's very comfortable singing slowly, and she understands why she's doing it. Sometimes I catch myself wanting to pick up the pace, but that's not what a nigun is. The pace, the silence, the mindfulness, all must be preserved in order that the nigun reaches deep inside. So you have to be comfortable in the silence in a group setting. Do you think you can do that? The Holy Rebbe, Rabbi Yosef Yitzhak of Lubavitch taught, quote, "A nigun opens windows in the soul," end quote. Have you ever had an experience of having your soul opening in a congregation setting of song? How glorious is that? It makes you want to go again and try more. And sometimes I find when I'm in a congregation setting, I sing my heart out, but I feel like there's something holding us back. It's a group experience, and maybe somebody is in there and they don't understand what's going on. Sometimes I can sense that. So the tendency is to keep singing over and over again, but sometimes it doesn't work, so to speak, because there's somebody that doesn't really get it and they're holding the group back. Not intentionally, but you become sensitive and aware of the atmosphere. You can discern if the Shekhinah has a lot of presence in the group or maybe just a little flicker. First, there must be deep contemplation, focusing the mind upon the oneness of the cosmos and its creator, to see the unity within each thing until it becomes more real than even your sense of self. So, like I said, if you're in a Christian church, you lose the sense of yourself when you get to an elevated praise and start to enter worship. But the contemplation may remain frozen in the realm of cold intellect. And that's what I was saying. Sometimes I can sense somebody's up here only, and they're analyzing the experience with their mind because they don't know how to express song from the soul. With a nigun, what is held imprisoned deep in the soul pours down into the mind, and from the mind to the heart. Meditation may enlighten the intellect, but a nigun can uplift and transform all of your being. Ooh, yeah. That is why the ancient prophets would sing and play musical instruments as they awaited the gift of prophecy. In this way, they would strip themselves of the barriers of body and mind, opening themselves as channels of infinite light. Have you experienced being a channel of infinite light? I have. I hope you have too. Not for the sake of transcendence alone, but to draw that transcendence down to earth, to awaken the hearts of humankind to the inner truths of life on earth. And so, maybe John Lennon didn't have such eloquent spiritual words, but when he sang Imagine and Give Peace a Chance, I think he was on the track. And unfortunately, his life was taken too soon. Sometimes people feel so uncomfortable with peace and love feelings. So it's up to us that at least want to try to do exactly that. Try to sing in unity and help others to break out of the mold of the animal soul or all of those judgmental things that keep people from loosening up and opening up in an intimate setting with others to sing together to God. or the creator or the cosmos or whatever your understanding is of the light within us. So thank you for listening to this. I hope there was something that was helpful, and I would like to close with my wonderful experience of singing with my rabbi this past weekend. And I hope that you can be in a place of stillness so that you can experience what the purpose is of singing together to God. Thank you for listening, and I hope you'll come again next Sunday at 11:30 Eastern Time for a story and a song. All right, let me find this. Here we go. Nishmat Kol Chai. Take a moment to think these words. The soul of all that lives praises your name, Adonai, our God. Breathe in these words, Nishmat Kol Chai. Tivarek et Shimcha Adonai Eloheinu. And we will sing Joey Weisenberg's version of Nishmat. Nishmat Kol Chai, Tivarek et Shimcha Adonai Eloheinu. Nishmat Kol Chai, Tivarek et Shimcha Adonai Eloheinu. Yai, 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 Nishmat Kol Chai, Tivarech et Shimcha Adonai Eloheinu. Nishmat Kol Chai, Tivarech et Shimcha Hello.